Okay, I think we're back. Say something if I'm back. I don't know what happened. My internet just went out for 1 minute. But I saw Serp say, alas, poor stream. So it must have been like a sputter, like, oh, arg, oh no, I'm dying, and then it actually died. Somebody has said something, but I couldn't see it. There we go. Now I see you. Alright, we can go down there. Would this guy have filled his entire office with traps? Maybe. Alright, sure, big deal. Alright. I don't have a key. Okay, we've got to go down here. Is his parents? Or is that him as a young child? Oh, to Gen? I can't actually read it. To Gen something something and my something. I dedicate myself to the love that I don't know what that could possibly mean, nor do I know if this is a puzzle. This is a puzzle? Are you a puzzle? There's his pipe, his frog smoking pipe. Wash your hands, okay. Alright, let's play it.
Tagamem, san botegan shem, fasi.
Okay. Well, without learning the language, we don't know what that means. It's gonna blow up? Alright, let's read his diary. With the grenade ticking right next to us. Sure, why not? 9... Oh, okay. I actually wrote the other dates down. Alright, so this is about a year ago. I start this latest journal with astounding news. Catherine has returned to the 5th Age, and though it sets my teeth on edge to say it, she has also vanished as quickly as she appeared, stolen from me by the rebels. As my guard tells it, she linked into the Fissure Plateau cage, as I'd guessed, when suddenly he was set upon by a band of rebels who darted him and spirited her away. I suspect the truth of the matter was that he was so dumbfounded at actually witnessing someone link in after all this time that he presented an easy target for whichever rebel had happened by at that moment. The damnable luck of it. So the Fissure Plateau cage... Alright, so did he build that cage, like, at the entrance point of the world so that if somebody came in, they would be in the cage? That's clever. He did get a good enough look at her, though, to verify that it was indeed Catherine. He also claims that he inspected all of her belongings and found no linking book on her person, a fact which, if true, makes the question of why she's returned here all the more puzzling. Is that a puzzle? While I am sick with frustration at having lost the only quarry that cage has ever caught, I am also filled with hope that she may yet provide me with a way back to Denny. It is true that I have managed, despite overwhelming odds, to break free of the confines of the Fifth Age and resume my mission to save my culture from extinction. But I fear that unless I am able to regain access to the vast resources that lie in the city's ruins, the task of reconstructing that great civilization will be impossible. If Catherine did bring a linking book with her, then I am halfway there. If not, then she is trapped in the Fifth Age, and I can assume that my emotionally crippled son will soon be along to rescue her. Either way, it is crucial to my plans that I find her soon. Her presence here now forces me to take the rebels more seriously. I should never have permitted them to survive this long. October 5th. Once again, the Great Wark has demonstrated its usefulness to me. This past week, the villagers have been most difficult to manage. Apparently, they have learned of Catherine's arrival, and their fear of this mythic beast has been all that has kept them in line. Had I known how truly useful these prodigious creatures would prove to be, I would have perhaps captured more of them while the local population was still plentiful. Although, to be sure, if these disturbances continue, my current pets will be in no danger of perishing for lack of nourishment. See, he's a good guy after all. He makes sure that his pets are well fed. I think I should let him out. I wouldn't want the Warks to starve. October 13th. The search for Catherine continues. I now deeply regret my mistake of having ever taught these primitive people anything at all about the books. It seems that with each passing day, I more sorely realized the extent to which they were not ready for that knowledge, not even in the simplified manner in which I had presented it to them. Their minds, adapted only to the exceptionally menial tasks of village life, were incapable of comprehending the art in all its complexity, and thus were unable to extract the essential underlying principles that are, ironically, so elegantly simple. It is obvious that much of the discord that exists between us stems from their failure to grasp the full meaning of the information I gave them. If they'd been able to gain even the smallest glimpse of the future I'd planned for them, then this conflict would not exist. The minds of children are much more malleable. With the proper instruction, they have developed a more appropriate posture towards the culture that gave them their lives. At times, they take to it almost as if they had a bit of Denis blood in them. Given the natives' inborn limitations, however, I am quite careful that none gain a level of understanding that would permit them to sin against their future the way that Catherine did. How foolish I was to think that she could contain such knowledge responsibly when it was quite clear that my own son could not. Atris, still he remains one of the greatest disappointments of my life. I should never have left him with my mother. I should never have left him with my mother. Okay, first that we've heard of Gen's mother. By the time I'd returned for him, he had already been poisoned as to all thoughts of the Denny. Perhaps it was the only way that she could rationalize the fact that she had been responsible for the collapse of their civilization. This is a revelation. Although it's coming from him. So much destruction, so many great lives lost, the guilt must have been unbearable. I do have vague recollections of the love she had for my father and for our world, but ultimately she was an outsider apostrophe S? Come on. And I thought you were a genius. An outsider whose ignorance of the Denny became the catalyst for their demise. If I am able to rebuild our culture, and in the process correct such crucial weaknesses, then perhaps... I know, Gen is the worst. Then perhaps what she did was ultimately necessary in order that a new era of prosperity might someday come to pass. All right, 3 months later, January 4th, these last few weeks I have found myself frequently beset by images from the past. As I stood in the schoolroom today, I was reminded of my own childhood, the years I spent in the Bookmakers Guild, Father's immense pride at each of my small accomplishments there. He was an important man in the Denny world, but I can't bear to think of him for long. It's too much. I was too young to see such a thing. Huh. February 8th. I've got her. Late last night, I received word that Catherine was in the village attempting to persuade the people to join her. I lost 2 good men in the process, but I would have paid 100 times that number for such a prize. She's been taken to the prison island, where I've been attempting to gain some insight as to the reason for her presence here. I've had to fight the all but constant impulse to put her on the gallows. She has adopted the most infuriating stance of only answering my questions, when she answers them at all, in her native tongue. Even so, she is a poor liar. I am now quite certain that her return to Riven was unintentional, and that she brought no linking book with her. As far as her unwillingness to share with me the location of the moiety, we shall see. Without their leader, however, they are once again powerless against me. If Catherine's coming here was indeed an accident, then Atris is bound to come for her. That is a given. The question I must now consider is, how will he do it? It is likely that his hesitation has been due, at least in part, to this dilemma. One way or another, he'll have to bring a linking book to get back to Denny. There is no other way. June 20th. It's late and I cannot sleep. I've lost so much in my life. My people, my father, my son, and you, my wife, Keta. We've heard the name Keto somewhere before, and I don't remember. Was it in... It might have been in Catherine's journal. Keto, you were the only true kindness I have ever known. Watching you flicker there in the imager, I sometimes wonder if you were real. If I could restore your life with my pen, I would do so in an instant and leave the rest of the world to their own wretched fate. July 30th. So this is imminently right around the same time that I arrived here. Damn these savages. I would be well advised to leave them all in the 5th Age and begin again with a clean sheet of paper. A stranger has arrived on Riven, with a linking book to Denny, and once again my useless minion was overtaken by the rebels. From what little I could decipher from his muddled explanation, it apparently occurred sometime this morning. The cage has been damaged, but it is no matter. Everything I need is here now. Atris is certainly behind this, yet how could he be so foolish as to send someone here with a linking book? Such blatancy is unlike him. Could it be that he has had a change of heart? After all these years, is he finally letting his poor old father go? No, he's only after one thing. Perhaps he should find her. For now, I need only to wait and observe. Okay. Should probably take a nap, get my MP back. No? No. Alright, let's poke the grenade some more. Only good things can happen. So it was like clack, tur, clack, tur, clack. But is that the whole solution, or is there something inside here? That was just a movie that plays. I can't actually interact with it. All right, so that must be that's Keta. To again, my husband and my salvation. I dedicate myself to the love that... something. Oh, yeah, maybe it is inspired. I don't think it's inspired. Rescued? The love that rescued me? I don't know. We don't know enough about her. And yeah, that's clearly him from their wedding day. He looks so happy. So, is it that simple? It's just a 5-button combo? Yeah, I'm just guessing. Now, this may not be the end either, just because we get her out. Question is though, are we going to go through with Atris's plan and signal him by destroying Riven?
We have to move quickly. Gen's people may already know what's happening. Once we're back with the moiety, we'll have time to regroup. Can I see the book? You did it. We're all free. You captured Gen. But there's still his followers. I'm not sure what I'll do once I realize he's gone. I'll have to get the villagers to safety as soon as possible. You go back to the Temple Island and reopen the fissure. I know it's risky. It's the only way to signal Atris. I'll try to make it back there as soon as I can, but don't wait for me. Don't forget, the portal combination's in my journal. Good luck.
People in old times wrote with JPEG pixelation artifacts. Alright, so I think we beat the game. All we have to do now is go open the Star Fissure. If the game would kindly unfreeze. Oh, okay. I had to click. Which one is this? It's not actually that clear. Ah, it's great. I can't wait to go watch Keith Ballard's playthrough. Because so many of the, like, I have to think, what were some of the things that I got super stuck on? I was super stuck until like, a lot of things, I would be stuck for a good long while, and then I would go, okay, here's the answer. I would either stumble upon it, or I would figure it out, or somebody in chat would have to give me a nudge. And then most of the time, I would get through it and go, oh, I don't actually have any, Oh, I can't get back into the lab. Okay. We just go to, I don't know, any of them. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter which one at this point. Yes. Yeah, more than once, in fact. What were the things that I needed? The first thing that I asked for... Well, the first thing that I asked for help on immediately after I said, okay, chimichangas, somebody give me a hint, somebody tell me what to do. Or at least tell me where to go. And then after I said it, I was like, now that I've said it, what always happens is before someone can answer me, I'll figure out the answer myself somehow. And clicked on a thing, and the fish mouth opened. I was dumbstruck at the fact that it actually happened exactly like that. Especially because there didn't seem to be any hints at all. None whatsoever that I could find that were like, hey, if you go to the fish and click this pixel, it'll open. But what did I legitimately ask for help on? I asked for help with figuring out the stupid animal noise puzzle, which in the end somebody had to actually, like, there was no, like, little hints didn't help. I needed somebody to look up the solution for me. And then it turned out, I guess, that I could have gotten it on my own if only I had... Why did that close? I didn't do that. Whatever. Doesn't matter now. Colors? What was the, Yeah, when I couldn't figure out what to do with the colors, that's when I needed to ask, and somebody said, hey, you never found the underwater observation thing. And I was like, you're right, I never did. And then shortly after, I did kind of come upon it myself, I think. Is this 2-2? And now to break everything. It's kind of funny that the very first thing that I did in the whole game, I think, was flipping this up. And it turns out that that's actually the final puzzle in the whole game. That the very last thing you need to do is make sure that this is up. Otherwise, you can't win. Let's save just in case.
Isn't much time. Where's Catherine? Where's the book?
Atris!
I don't have... accomplished more than I could have hoped for. You've given me back my life. The path home is now clear for all of us. This is where our paths must part. Perhaps we'll meet again someday. You know where to find me. Goodbye, my friend.
Hey, he just leaves me here? Or is he leaving the book for me? Oh. No, he's not leaving the book for me. Okay, thanks, jerk. Worst ending. Or no, he knows that falling into the star fissure just means you go somewhere like exile, Mist 3 Exile coming right up. No, I don't know if I'm gonna play the others. Is it too soon to ask? It's the perfect time to ask.
Now I understand. Endings and beginnings are within the fissure. That riven cleft of stars that acts as both a wall and a bridge. And though I am unable to understand how, the very flow of stars that brought my mist book into worthy hands, I am sure served as a safe passage home for my friend. The age of Riven is closed forever, but the people of Riven are free. And now I am at rest, understanding that in books and ages and life, the ending can never truly be written.
So we got the real ending for real at last. Next game. Next game might be... What was the one I was just going to default to? Snakebird, I guess? Snakebird is some puzzle game thing. I can't quite remember why or how it was recommended to me. I don't know if I stumbled upon it myself. If it was like, oh, it's, you know, it's on sale for 90% off or something. But then in fact, I'm not even sure if the name is Snakebird. It might be Snake Egg or something. I guess I have very little idea of what it could be. I don't know if I'm going to play the others, because while both Mist and Riven were good experiences, they were rather dated. Like I mentioned the issues that I had with this one, and it's not that I think it's bad, but if someone released this game or Mist in 2018, I wouldn't really like it. The reason that I like it is partly because it was so old, because it came out and kicked off a whole idea of, okay, we can mix stories with puzzles. With the other ones that come later, I don't actually know how long it was before Mist 3 came out. Maybe I will, at the very least, maybe I will play Abduction, because that's by the same team. But, oh, and what's Kern or Quern? I don't think I've heard of that one. Is that also by the same team? Because I think Abduction isn't related to the plot of Mist, right? It's just by the same people.